Good day, esteemed viewers and listeners. We're happy to be with you in our program, The Pensioner, which is aimed at enlightening the military pensioners, next of kin of deceased personnel, and the general public on ways to process their pension, gratuity, and death benefits at the Military Pension Board. I'm your host, Musa Muhammad. In today's episode of the program, we have the grace of being with former officer in the Nigerian Navy and the chairman of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria, VGN, in person of Navy Captain A.B. Umar, retired. To know more about our guest, we begin our exclusive interview with him with a short biography.
I am a retired Navy captain. I retired from the service in 2012. My last military service was training, National Defense College in Bangladesh. And before then, I was Principal Staff Officer to the Minister of Defense. I started as a regular officer in 1982. That was when I graduated. So I spent virtually 30 years from the cadetship to date, to the time I retired.
In every human endeavor, we come across loads of experiences which remain indelible in our lifetime. In the military service, what would have been the memorable experience to our guests?
Well, it's very interesting. When I was opportune to visit about 29 countries officially, not the one I visited on my own, like going to Hajj, going on holidays, and then, but officially I visited about 29 countries, virtually in all the continents. Serving in the military is a great honor. It's a honor in the sense that every man is supposed to be a soldier. It's a profession that is discriminatory in nature. It's accepted. First, before you are called to serve your country, you must be physically fit. It's discriminatory because, one, for you to be a combatant, in our time you must be a male. You must attain certain height. You must have officer-like qualities. If you have deficiencies, for no fault of yours, you can be rejected and nothing could be done. And once you are accepted, you are commissioned, you will be made to swear that you will serve on land, sea, and air, and anywhere in the world. Military is the only job in the world where you work 24 hours, 7 days in a week. In peacetime, we work in shifts. But in wartime, everybody is called to no leave, no pass, nothing. All your privileges are withdrawn. And you are under two laws, military and civil. And all your rights are withdrawn. You don't have any right in the military. You have privileges. You don't have, I can't, I won't. We are told that does not exist in the military. You are made to be apolitical, to think only of your country, no one else. Your loyalty is to your country. But you should not forget that your loyalty is to your immediate boss, If you're loyal to him, and he is loyal to his immediate boss, like that to the nation. And we are told not to think of any problem because the service provides for all your needs. Anything you need, from uniform, food, your salary is paid as at when due, even though it's a privilege. Medical, in fact, the only right you have in the military is to stay healthy. You must stay healthy. And that is why before joining the military, you will be made to conduct medical tests to make sure you are physically fit and healthy, so that if you attain any deformity or illness, they know that it's from the service and they will take care of that. So you see, serving in the military is very interesting. It's only if you have hidden agenda that you find it difficult. Otherwise, I do, leave, you stop, you don't have problem.
Life after selfless service to our fatherland in both the civil and military institutions is just like a two-sided coin. Now that Navy Captain Abi Umar has retired from the military, how can he describe life after retirement?
When the civil life is much, much easier because you are made to work 24 hours. So when you are free, before you leave, anywhere 48 kilometers radius or 48 mile radius, you must get pass. Anywhere you're going, you must notify. You don't just go any. So now you are retired. You feel as free as air. Initially, I find it difficult to adjust. If I'm moving to anywhere, I'll feel like somebody will ask, where is my pass? But gradually, I get used to it. And you find if you accept that you are no more in the service, you are ready to retire, and you are ready to work, you are not tired, and you are used to being pushed around in the military. You'll be posted without notice. You are sitting comfortably, they'll tell you are posted to so place and you are to move tomorrow. You don't have alternative than to move. Now you're on your own. So you find with the pension they are paying and the little effort you are making, at times I feel I'm cheating the system. Honestly, no uniform to wear, to maintain, no orders to be obeyed, no regimentation, and yet I'm getting more than my salary because I'm receiving monthly pension, but I will do some jobs. At times, one job, I can get something that will last me for a year. By the time I divide it into 12, it may be more than my salary. The only difficult working with the civilian is you are used to regimentation. They are not. Like now, Haji Pello told me he's coming by 11. He came after 12. If it's in the military, you will not see me. But I'm used to civilian life. In the military, if they say 11, they're not expecting you by 11. They're expecting you at least 10 minutes to 11. In the Navy, you call it warm the bell. When I say meet me by 11, I'm not talking about 11. I'm talking about 10 minutes to 11. It's me that will come by 11. I should see you waiting by 11. Except it's my superior invited me to meet him by 11, then before 11, I should be there. So these are some of the difficulties you have. You tell your somebody working under you, do this, you tell you, no sir, I can't. So I try to control myself. I said, I'm not dealing with. It was somebody shouted here twice in my office and walk out. How can I tell him that? I was trying to advise him that he was not diplomatic in his approach of things. He was briefing me on what transpired in an assignment I gave him. So I realized he was not diplomatic, and I knew that. So I was trying to, hey, no. This is the third time I'm telling you he's not diplomatic. But when I remember he's not a trained military officer, so I accepted. I listened to him now. He shouted, talk rubbish, and went. But when I want to deal with you, I know how to deal with the civilian. I know your interest. Because another thing we are taught in the military is if you are fighting an enemy, know his weak point, focal point, that when you hit him, it will pains him more. So if I know your weak point, when we're living together, what I would try is to know, what do you like most? And if I want to punish you, I will deny you that privilege. Without beating, without shouting, without doing anything. I'll make you to peel the pens. So it's much easier working with a civilian because they will see you as extraordinary human being. Because you find somebody will call me anytime by 4, you will find I'm awake. If we promise that by 4 that AM, I say no problem. And I'll try to wake up before 4. Because I'm anticipating a call by 4. If you say by 8, like somebody on Sunday, he told me to call him Wednesday morning to confirm something. I called him. First, he didn't pick because he didn't do what he said he wanted to do. Secondly, he now called to apologize that I should call in the evening. So, but deliberately I refused to call him in the evening because I know if he's ready, he'll call me. Because the benefit is mutual benefit between me and him. It's not only me. But if he's in the military, I will, one, if he's my mate, you know what is expected of him. If he's my junior, you know what is expected of him. If he's my superior, you know what is expected of him. So we all know our level and we try to live up to that expectation. Because if you err, you are not only disgracing yourself, you are disgracing all your cosmates, all your branch of the service. As a naval officer, people will say, oh, it's Navy. If you say, oh, this is how Army behave. So you see, we have each other that way. Even though we know it's not so. The difference is from him. And that is why we have, as cadets, what is called as blanket 40. When one of you commit an offense, all of you will be punished. So that you check each other to make sure you move together. So that he does not buy a job for all of you. At times, the person who commit the offense may not even be around when they are punishing you. You know that somebody has done something and he belongs to so cause. They muster all of you, punish all of you. He may not even be there. He escaped. But you will pass the message to him because you are representing him. And you are made to grow up like that, taking care of yourselves. So that is why you find if somebody is in a juicy appointment, all his friends will be taken care of. No matter how little, he will remember all of you and send welfare. So we live in the military like family. And that is what is absent in the civil life. You find in the civil life, people live on only your blood relation or your personal friends. But in the military, you are made to be all of you like a family, because if you are faced with common enemy, he does not segregate. Anywhere, anybody he see among you, he shoot. So you must move together, live together, assist each other. So, and when you come into a civil life and you happen to find yourself in a position of authority, that's what you exhibit. And that what will attract more people to you, because they will see a different life. And it's no different. If they meet any other officer, that's how they will be treated. As a superior, you are made to sacrifice for your junior. Always to take care of men under you. Because these are people you may assign to a position they may get killed. And they have children, they have wives, they have family.
The Nigerian Military Pension Board has witnessed rigorous adjustments and amendments just to serve the purpose of the creation of the board diligently. The board, which is now under the able leadership of Air Vice Marshal Paul Ichibo Irumileson, always restate its commitment to upholding values, transparency and accountability while discharging its mandate. This is why our guest figured out some differences while describing the present military pension services and arrangements in the past.
In the past, I know the past very well because I live in Ikoyi, and I know the pension board was in Roxon before in Ikoyi. And that is the same location where my children attend Islamia school. And I used to see pensioners with their tents erected as refugees. I feel very, very sad. I say, is this how I'm going to be tomorrow? I always thought of what will happen to me on retirement. Not only me, others of my colleagues. Now we are living fine, but look at our colleagues. They were in our position yesterday. See where they are today. Because they were not paid. So they have decided to come to the pension board and stay. Permanently. They erected tents in those places. So, but fortunately, I think in 2010, the then president, Musa, may he rest in peace, made effort to review the pension board. First, they renovated their present position in Kubwa. So I used to see the place very bushy. I say, how can they carry pension board to that place? But today when I say, that is foresight. Now there is beautiful road, the building is beautiful, everything. And he computerized everything and recaptured all. So now there is no issue of your file missing. They will start looking for a file. Everything is captured in computer. And immediately you leave the service. Your service will send all your information to the pension board. And before you know, wallahi, I don't know when they started paying my pension. Because I was not expecting it. That was the same year my first daughter got married, 2012. So somebody, one of my junior, sent me some gift. So when I saw it, I know the position he was holding. You know, I was a bit, and I said, how can this guy did this? I was thinking the money was small. I said, nah, I remember the figures were many. I now went back to check the text message. I now saw there are about 8 figures. I said, okay. Then I now saw my pension of last month, this month are added. My gratuity was sent. So I was very happy because I was not expecting it at all. But you can see, within the second month of my retirement, the pension started coming. And since then, it has been steadied. And the gratuity, because I'm living in my own personal house before I left service. And I was ready to leave the service. I didn't complete the 35 years I put in. Immediately I came back from In fact, before leaving Bangladesh, I wrote resignation letter. It took time before it was approved. I was going to work from Kaduna to Abuja till when it was confirmed, and I started using that money, turning it, going into property. Since then, I realized I don't have problem at all. My only problem is, if it's a problem, is when I see some of my colleagues who are not doing very well. And in most cases is because they have been living a very high life, higher than their salary. So you find by the time you retire, if you are living above your salary, now where you're getting the extra money has stopped, you will definitely drop. But if you are living within your means, your salary in the service, your retirement pension is not far different from your salary. So far you can still maintain the same standard of living, if not even higher. Because my senior brother once told me, he said, Umar, we are thinking, we are not happy you are going to retire. I know, I told you, because you have been assisting people. Now you can't. But now I've seen that you are assisting more than when you are in the service. I said, oh, that is good. So you find there is not much problem with retiring.
Although the Military Pension Board is doing all it could to protect the interests and concern of the military pensioners, Navy Captain A.B. Umar has a word of advice that will help in improving the board's services and create easy ways to process a timely payment of pension for the retired military personnel.
Throughout the 8 years of Buhari regime, one, they increased our pension by 50%, everybody, and then introduced SDA for all those who retired. This is to protect retired personnel from being used as security threat to the nation. And they have been paying us at times before even the serving officers.
Before rounding up our discussion with A.B. Umar, he sent a word of commendation to the current administration of the Military Pension Board for the well-done job they are doing.
The chairman of pension board, the subsequent one and the present one, they are doing very well, because we are seeing, because of the social media, we have many platforms where we saw their activities. They tried to secure this money early, but the problem is always from the Federal Ministry of Finance. At times, there was a time our people had to go and virtually hijack the Federal Ministry of Finance and attempted to block the road. And we all contributed. We were ready to finance their staying there, feeding and drinking. We took care of that to make sure we are sending, those of us who are not going there, will send for money that will afford them to stay there. I think we should not carry ourselves to that stage. But the chairman of pension board are doing very well. We commend them and we appreciate their effort.
Our esteemed viewers and listeners, here we come to the end of our today's program, The Pensioner, where we featured Navy Captain A.B. Umar, retired, who shared some of his experiences while serving the nation and the Nigerian military, as well as how he finds life after retirement. On behalf of the Chairman Military Pension Board, Air Vice Marshal Paul Ichibo Irumeson, and our members of our team, who assisted in making the production successful. I'm your host, Musa Mohammed, urging you to join us in the next edition of the program. Thank you and God bless.